Well, first, you need to pick your site. Now, remember, a site is only good as the match is on it for you. Not your girlfriend, not your brother, not your coworker who, complained to you about this one time that she met this horrible crazy guy on whatever, for you. Now, when you're picking a site, think about your friend charming. What personality traits would you like him to have? What common interests should you share? And, what goals are important to you? Keep these things in mind when you're looking at matches. And in fact, a lot of times you can search online without having to pay for a subscription. And when you find matches that you do like, feel free to then, subscribe as a paying member. And, you don't have to do the 6 months contract or whatever. Try it out for 3 months. You can always switch it up. Now, if you're already on a site and you're not having any luck, try something new. Don't just stick to the same site if, you're continually striking out. Different sites have different personalities. So by switching sites, you might have a better chance of finding someone who's more compatible with you. For example, sometimes, for certain clients, you would say, you'd be great for OkCupid, but for that same client, you would advise them to stay with you from Match.com. It really all depends on who you are and, the type of guy that you're looking for. Don't just give up. Now, first you need to create a profile. I'm going to walk you through an example of an OkCupid profile. While there are tons of dating sites out there, they more or less ask the same question, so a lot of these steps can apply. Now, first, they usually ask, your about you, myself summary. Overall, the length of any about me should be 2 to 3 paragraphs. So your first line is the most important. I'm a yoga-loving, Hawaiian bar hopping klutz. This sentence works because it's attention grabbing, and it shows 2 sides of this personality, the yogi and the klutz. And yes, it's possible to have that. Also, revealing a weakness up front, with being clumsy, shows that can be strength because it shows that you're approachable. Just like if you were at a bar, you want to seem approachable to guys. Well, the same philosophy applies to online dating. Now, the second paragraph is where you can get more specific. The first section. I consider myself one of those lucky people who are successful without degree. I found knowledge is better acquired through real-time osmosis and classroom lectures. This woman is saying that she's intelligent without saying the word intelligent. Be specific and show, don't tell. Your profile should be thought of as, painting a picture with words. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's true. And you should also make your profile interactive. Mentioning specifics like the Met makes it easy for matches to say, hey, I like that too. While opposites may attract, there should always be some common ground in any relationship. So, you should think about that when you're writing an online profile. Now, avoid cliches. Saying my favorite part of every month is first using gossip with my girlfriend who's Mexican shows that friendship is important to this woman. Without saying my friends are important. Everyone says that, and it's boring. You want to say something different. Also, mentioning her brother's hockey game shows that family is important without, again, saying my family is important to me. And it also shows that she doesn't mind sports, which, for most guys is a plus. So, if you're a diehard Yankee fan and you're pissed that, they're not in the World Series, or if you're on pins and needles waiting for the NBA lockout to, finally figure this out, mention that. Guys like to see specifics. Guys want to see something that, they can hold on to. Now, remember that it's always important to end with a paragraph about a match, regardless of the site that you're on. On OkCupid, they actually don't ask you what your perfect match is until the very end. But by mentioning it up top, when you're about me, it shows that you're serious about finding a partner. But, keep it light. Never give ultimatums, like he must be, he will be. No, be light with it. And again, it's supposed to be fun. Now, what I'm doing with my life. When talking about your career, give specifics in a lighthearted way. Never mention your company. Just like you wouldn't give out your full name or your last name or anything like that. Don't, give out your company or maybe even your exact title if it's very specific. You want to avoid the weird Google stalkers out there, before a first date. You don't want that. And also, you should be positive about your job and your career. An online vibes, you should get positive vibes back. And it's not fun for a guy to see any negativity anywhere. So keep that in mind. Also, at the end, if you can humanize it, your job, all the better. It makes it more relatable. If you can see something funny about being a CPA, and it's probably the most boring job in the world, find a way. Now, I'm really good at, in marketing, good things happen in 30s, so we use that for eFlirting expert. It's a great way to show variety without, a long list, and it makes your profile simple and interactive. Also, this is another opportunity to have fun with your profile. Don't take every question that they give you so literally. And this also applies to the next one. The first things people usually notice about me. You never want to say something that's cliche. Don't say my smile. Don't say my height because duh, he'll see that when he meets you. Be fun and be creative. It's surprising to me how many people are literal with this, or they're very dramatic. It's like, well, why would I want to message someone who's boring? Be fun, be playful. You want to be memorable, so make that interesting. Now, my favorite books, music, movies, and food. This section can get long, so you want to show a good cross-section without, rather than a massive list. So again, think in terms of 3. And 6 things I could never do without. This is actually one of my most favorite parts to write about someone's profile. Just, be specific. Pull out things that, you might never really think about. Like everyone says here again, my family, my friends, my dog, my idols. But, think about saying something else, like black and white photography. And the about me, and she mentioned that she loves going to the Met. Well, this kind of, is a common theme that's woven throughout her profile. And themes are another way to get, people to remember who you are. Now, I spend a lot of time thinking about why viewers would ever go to Times Square for fun. See a lot of you are laughing, and it's a way to be funny without being ha-ha funny. Say something that, again, grabs someone's attention. When someone sees it, you're like, wow, this girl sounds like she's a good time, and she doesn't take herself too seriously. And on a typical Friday night, I am. Now, you never want to say that you only like staying in unless you're really not social. But if you're really not social, then I don't know what you're doing, trying to get a date. So get that out of your system. Mention one other thing to make your Friday go around it. And, this also comes up in other sites like, what you do for fun, or list your hobbies. Again, have fun with it, and, be playful. Now, the last thing, 2 things. The most private thing I'm willing to admit here. Focusing on quirks can be endearing, and also bringing up your clumsiness, like how you broke 19 glasses and guess it's a true story. It makes people remember you. Now, you never want to say that you're not willing to admit anything, and I see a lot of women do that. To be honest, it comes off a bit prudish, and it sounds like you to stick up your butt, and no one really wants to message a girl who wants to stick up her butt. Be fun. And it's supposed to be a funny and intriguing question that, gives off a little bit of your personality, so show that here. Also, by revealing something, this gives potential matches a sense of knowing who you are a little bit more intimately than, they do now. So again, it just makes you seem more comfortable. And then the last thing is you should message me in. Here's an opportunity for you to talk about your ideal match. Again, use 3 things, but you don't want to be too limiting. And just remember that it's your last impression, so make it good. Now what? Most women think they can sit neat. Why is that? Well, they look to men, fairy tales say that women should be damsels in distresses. We're taught that role at a very early age. We look to men to fix a problem, or look to them for approval, or look to them to make the first move. Like you heard it earlier in the man panel, guys are typically the aggressors. It's a role that's taught. You don't normally see, movies that teach little boys how to be Prince Charming. That doesn't happen. And in the digital age, it's impossible to be a damsel in distress. If you're on page 20 of your Prince Charming's, search results, he might never find you. So if you see him, you have to say hi. In all the parts of your life, whether it's school, your career, fitness goals, chivalry is dead. But that is one part of fairy tales that is true. You know, some women argue that online dating isn't chivalrous because women also have to be proactive and, you know, if you want to get on a date, you have to make your move. Well, you know, chivalry does happen. It just happens in person. So, now, this brings us to searching. And these are 4 things to, you know, keep in mind. The first thing, remember that you're never going to love your match on paper. Ever. Think back to your high school sweetheart. If you saw their dating profile now, would you have dated them? Realistically, the guy who you thought was the love of your life in high school. No, it's unlikely. And when you're searching, you know, look for common interests, values you appreciate, and potential for attraction. You know, after work, a margarita or a glass of wine, send him a message. Now also think outside the island. You know, think about where your perfect guy might be. Yes, we're in Manhattan, and yes, we have the 5 boroughs to consider, you know, but there's also, you know, a whole tri-state area of daters out there. You know, what about Westchester, Connecticut, New Jersey? A lot of guys commute into the city to work, or some of you guys do too. So, you know, how far would you go to look for love? And what you search is just as important as searching itself. You know, start off with broad criteria. You know, age, location, and maybe one other thing that's important to you. You know, keep in mind that if you immediately filter out too many specifics like height or income, you're really limiting yourself to the matches that you pull up. And you know, do that later after you've exhausted all your options. Another trick is to, you know, once a month change up the criteria. So instead of searching guys that are, you know, 35 to 41, maybe try doing 37 to 43. You never know who you might find by switching up one minute detail. And the last thing is pretty self-explanatory. Search active users only. You know, usually active within 24 hours is your best bet, but you know, 3 days is also good too. You know, keep in mind that people are often busy at work or traveling, so they might not check their profiles every single day, but you know, it goes without saying that someone that hasn't been online in 6 months is not someone that you should send a message of. You know, you can do all the searching in the world, but it's not possible to get offline until you reach out. So let's talk about crafting a message. If you're not, you know, you can just jump right into the message. Avoid saying hi, hello, it just slows the process down. You know, if you're ballsy enough to send a message, which you should be, because we're not damsels in distress, you know, just go for it. Pick a topic, you know, that's, you know, that you can speak to. You know, just a common interest, whether it's Yankees, whatever it is. And, you know, qualify yourself. You know, state something relevant that's going on right now that you can, you know, speak to. And then you should ask a question. You know, keep the conversation going. After all, if you just send someone a message without asking them something, why would they even write back to you? So, you know, a message that's 3 to 4 sentences is usually best. Now, above all things, remember that the most important part of online dating is getting offline. You know, after sending 3 messages back and forth each way, it's time to meet up. And if he doesn't bring it up, you know, you should. After all, again, we're not damsels in distress. You can, you know, make the move for yourself. You know, guys like confident women, so the same thing applies to online dating. Now, you're ready to meet, but remember that it's not really a date. Think about it. This isn't a chance encounter at a ball. You know, he's been courting you over a few emails, but his dimples haven't yet charmed you. And in fact, there hasn't been the sexual tension, you know, that normally happens in real life. Because honestly, you know that realistically, you wouldn't go out on a date with someone after, you know, if you haven't spoken to them for at least 5 minutes at a bar. And online dating, it's sort of the same thing. So don't set yourself up for having fireworks with this guy, you know, without having laid that physical groundwork. However, after, you know, your first meeting, you should expect smoldering sparks. You know, look for open body language, open conversation. You know, because you're still feeling things out, keep it short, keep it simple. You know, stick to coffee or a drink, you know, after work. It really shouldn't last longer than an hour. You know, you want to end your date on a high. You know, if you're at dinner, this is the first time you're meeting someone and it just drags on, but you kind of liked him in the beginning, like, you don't want to fall off that high point. You know, you want to leave it there. Now, at the end of the day, you should walk away thinking that if you met him at a chance, you know, a chance encounter at the ball or at the bar or whatever, that you would, you know, go out on a real date with him. And if you do feel that way, then definitely go for it. You know, and I know this is really a simplistic version of cracking the code and getting an offline relationship from online dating. But believe me, we see clients get into happy relationships all the time at eFlirt Expert. You know, so don't think that it's not possible. Actually, this past week, one of our clients, he took down his OkCupid profile with his girlfriend, who he had met on OkCupid. They decided to, you know, take the leap and do it together. And yeah, they're happy now. And you know, and this obviously was not the first time that he's been on a date. So don't think that, you know, you're gonna find your perfect guy ASAP. You know, you could be online dating for 1 month or 6 months, but keep in the back of your head, you know, your Prince Charming, he does exist. But you know, don't sit back and wait for him to find you. You know, if you see him, you know, you should, you know, get him too. That's okay. Oh, sorry. That's okay. I'm actually wrapping up. But you know, if you do need help finding your fairy tale, you can just go to eFlirtexpert.com and enter code SingleStilettos for 10% off. You know, any online dating package. We actually launched a new social media flirt package that's for all, you know, the guys on Twitter or Facebook. You know, anything from an e-critique if you want to know what your online dating profile says about you, or if you know that you need, you know, an e-makeover, fine. You know, we have a bunch of that. All these little coupon things are going to be in your gift bags at the end, so make sure to grab one. And actually, I'm going to raffle off an e-mix package right now. So e-mixes they're perfect. You know, whether you're new to online dating or that it's a monthly package, we're raffling off for the first 3 months. So that comes with a one-on-one meeting, a profile from scratch or an e-makeover, photo selection, 6 ghosts for in emails to your matches per week, 30 days of unlimited advice via email and all exit packs, and profile tweaks to keep things fresh, and of course wardrobe review and recommendations. So that all comes free with your first month. If you choose to renew, then it's just one. Exciting. It's never wrapped up. So 903483. Yay! It comes with, you know, aphrodisiac perfume, lip balm from Helga Lee, and I actually have a card here for tips to create your online dating profile. So if you don't get a chance to write anything down, then I have some tips for you. And our business cards are here, and I'll be around, you know, until after happy hour. So if you guys have any questions about online dating,